9.2 is the multiplication property of equality. And so we'll be solving problems here using, for the most part, division. Okay. So the first problem I have here is negative 5x is equal to negative 20. So if you recall, negative 5x really means negative 5 times x. So the opposite of to multiply is to divide. So I'm going to divide by the number that I have in front of my x. A negative 5 and a negative 5 will cancel out. That's going to leave me with an x. A negative 20 divided by a negative 5 leaves me with a positive 4. Okay. Let's see. The next problem I have here is 3x is equal to 0. So again, 3x really means 3 times x. So I'm going to do the opposite of times, which is to divide. So those 3's will cancel. And 0 divided by 3 is still 0. Okay, good. So for our next problem here, we have a negative x is equal to 12. So I can actually think about that as a negative 1x equals a negative 12. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 1. Those will cancel. And I'm going to get x equals a negative 12 divided by a negative 1 is a positive 12. All right. And so for the next problem I have here, I have a over 2 equals 1. So when we have a fraction means I'm dividing. And so the opposite of dividing is to multiply. So I'm going to put a 2 right here and let it be known that I'm multiplying it. I'm going to put a times 2 right here. Well, this 2 and that 2 are going to cancel each other out. And 1 times 2 is just 2. All right, so our next problem is k over negative 7 equals 0. So again, let me go ahead and write that out. K over negative 7 equals 0. So again, I'm dividing by negative 7, so I want to do the opposite, which is to multiply both sides by negative 7. Well, this negative 7 and that negative 7 will cancel each other out. And so I'll just get k, and then 0 times negative 7 is still 0. All right. So the next problem I have here is 2x minus 4 is equal to 16. So again, I want to get my x by itself, so I'm going to go ahead and say, well, let me go ahead and add 4 to both sides. Add 4 to both sides. And that's going to leave me with 2x equals 16 plus 4 is 20. So now if I have 2x is equal to 20, I can just divide both sides by 2. Those 2's will cancel. And 2 goes into 20 10 times. Great. In the next problem that I have up here, I have negative x plus 2 equals 22. So again, I want to think about that. That's a negative 1x plus 2 equals 22. I'm going to go ahead and minus 2 on both sides first. These will cancel, so I'll have a negative 1x equals 20. So when I finally divide both sides by negative 1, I'm just going to come up with x is equal to, oops, that should be a negative 20. All right. My next problem here says 6a plus 3 equals 3. So let's go ahead and minus 3 on both, minus 3 on both sides. That leaves me with 6a equals 0, because those 3's cancel. So when I finally divide both sides by 6, I end up with a is equal to 0. All right. So my next problem here, 6z minus 8 minus z plus 3 equals 0. I'm going to go ahead and draw, oops, sorry. Let me fix that again. I'm going to go ahead and draw my line coming down. I'm going to combine my 6z and my minus z. That'll leave me with a 5z. We can combine our minus 8 and our plus 3 to a minus 5 equals 0. I want to get my z by itself, so I'm going to go ahead and add 5 to both sides. So that's going to leave me with 5z is equal to 5. And then finally I can just divide both sides by 5, and we'll come up with z is equal to 1. Okay, my next problem here, 8x plus 20 equals 6x plus 18. So again, let me go ahead and draw my line going down. I want to move my smaller x to my bigger x. So I'm going to minus 6x here, minus 6x there. That's going to leave me with a 2x plus 20 is equal to 18. So now if I have 2x plus 20 equals 18, I can minus 20 on both sides. That leaves me with a 2x equals a negative 2. When I finally divide both sides by 2, I'm going to come up with x is equal to negative 1. All right. So in my next problem here, again, I want to do some of the same things we've been doing before. I'm going to draw my line going down. I'm going to distribute my 3. So that's going to give me a 6x plus 15 equals, on the right side we can go ahead and combine our negative 18 and our positive 9 to leave me with a negative 9. So I want to get my x by itself. I'm going to subtract 15 on both sides. I'm now going to come up with 6x is equal to a negative 24. So finally, if I have 6x equals negative 24, I need to divide both sides by 6, and we'll come up with x is equal to negative 4. So I hope you're sort of seeing a pattern here, and that I'm sort of doing the same thing in every one of these problems. Let's try this next one here. Okay, so again, I'm going to move my smaller x to my bigger x. So I'm going to go minus 2x here, minus 2x here. That leaves me with a negative 5 equals 18x plus 4. So I need to undo this by subtracting 4. So minus 4 here and minus 4 here. That's now going to leave me with negative 9 equals 18x. Remember, I'm trying to get my x by itself, so I need to get rid of the number that's in front of my x, which is an 18. So if I divide both sides by 18, I can reduce this fraction to a negative 1/2. All right, let's try the next one. We'll do it again the same way. So I'm going to draw my line going down here. 2 plus 14 is 16. Oops, 16. If I distribute my negative 4, that is a negative 12x and a positive 16. If I subtract 16 on both sides, I now end up with 0 equals negative 12x. So if I have 0 equals negative 12x and I divide both sides by negative 12, I should still get 0 is equal to x. Okay, so let's take a look at these next few problems here. Again, my first step, I'm going to draw my line going down. So I'm going to move my smaller y to my bigger y. So I'll go ahead and add 6y to both sides. Add 6y to both sides. That's going to leave me with a negative 3 equals a y minus 7. Okay. I want to go ahead and get rid of my minus 7 by adding 7 to both sides. So now I'm going to get negative 3 plus 7, positive 4, is equal to y. Okay. And in the next problem that I have here, again, I'm going to go ahead and draw my line going down. I'm going to move my smaller x to my bigger x. So I'm going to go ahead and add 4x to both sides. And add 4x to both sides. Those will cancel. That'll leave me with 20 is equal to 8x minus 20. I'm going to go ahead and add 20 to both sides. So that's going to leave me with 40 equals 8x. So if I have 40 equals 8x, I can just divide both sides by 8 and end up with x is equal to 5.